And the first project to pitch is Inspector Cloud. Alexander Berinov, please turn on your camera and please share your presentation. Hi.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Yeah?
Yes.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, sorry. So our solution is helping FMCG brands to analyze shelf space in the stores. We are providing to them the mobile application, which can analyze the photos through the computer vision and get actionable reports on what is sitting on the shelf, checking the KPIs like planogram compliance, share of shelf, on-shelf availability to the certain SKUs, etc. So in terms of the traction where we are now, so we are now analyzing 17 million photos per month. We are generating 95,000 USD per month from the companies like PepsiCo, Henkel, Unilever, Schwarzkopf on the right, yeah. And we are growing 30% month over month since actually the COVID-19 situation started, because the companies want to know exactly what is going on in the stores that they cannot visit. So it definitely looks like that, yeah. What is different from other solutions on the market is actually that we are analyzing the photos in real time and not using any people to fix the inaccuracies, unlike Trax Retail from Singapore or Vispera from Turkey. And we are actually also able to provide from 3 to 4 times less expensive solution for FMCG brands. In terms of the team, so my CTO and founder Pavel Boyko holds a PhD. Viktor Limpitsky is our research advisor, is a computer vision scientist guru from Eastern Europe, and Steven Kruger is one of our mentors for the retail. The market is quite huge. It's growing since actually there is all the brands realize actually that they can fix the inaccuracies on the shelf and get the perfect store concept enforced with the computer vision. In terms of the acquisitions, the market is actually demanding more and more solutions. Trax Retail is one of our competitors, is buying company after company each quarter. In terms of the expansion, we have now 5 million worth projects in our pipeline and selling directly in Poland and in Europe, and also building a sales office in Brazil. At the moment, we have 500,000 in our pocket from our investor for this round, and we are looking for another 200, 300 USD. Ideally from a company that is has prior experience in retail tech and who understands well how to actually help us to scale up the technology for a B2B SaaS business. So that's it. Thank you.
I cannot not comment in perfect timing, 3 minutes sharp. Question?
Well done. So Tom here. I mean, retail tech in general is pretty tough in the last even few years, and especially now. But good to see that there's somebody who benefits from the crisis. I've seen a couple of similar companies, not exactly the same solution. And I guess my question to you is, when you work with these mega brands, who do you actually sell to in the brand? Who actually pays for this? Is it on the sales side? Is it on the marketing side? Is it analytics people? Who? Because it makes quite a difference based on who the actual customer user is.
Yeah, so the main actually customer inside the brands is the sales and analytics, basically, yeah. So it's more like a direct sales, but we know actually the roles, and it's not that actually hard to track the right guy who can actually make a decision and roll out the solution.
Good to hear. Just wrapping this one up quickly. So I like that it's in sales, because obviously budgets usually are better to come by in sales if you can show real return on what they buy from you. How long are your sales lead times on a, let's say, local versus local regional level, not necessarily global, because global is always super slow? I think he might have dropped off.
Can you hear me?
Now you're back. You dropped off.
Yeah. So I thought actually that the average time is up to 6 months time. Yeah, it's a B2B enterprise sales, and so but the LTV time is 3-4 years because they have actually once you're solving their pain, actually they will pay for you to you, yeah, for years, yeah, if you're not screwing up, yeah.
What is actually distinctive about your product or tech, right? So what is different from other solutions in the market? One of the key questions, for example, is the quality of image you need to do image recognition at scale, which requires quite a lot of quality of image, and therefore you need to replace CCTV cameras, etc., in retail, blah, 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 blah. So what's distinctive about your tech stack and your product?
Yeah, so we started actually with 100% automatic process, so we don't have any guys who are fixing in the background actually the recognition results, yeah. So the accuracy is quite high. Automatically it's up to 95-98%, and it is actually in real time. So we're analyzing one scene which actually combines up to 10 photos in 20 seconds, yeah, and getting back to the application. So it pretty distinguishes us from Trax, which is actually the employer #1 in Sri Lanka. Because it employs vast amount of people who are doing the manual search of the goods on the photos, yeah, and also it's we're working on a on-device recognition, yeah, which could be offline, yeah, and pretty done on a Apple iPhones, yeah, with the seconds, yeah. So you take the picture and instantly you get the result. That's actually what we are now doing and trialing, hopefully in next 2 months with the big international tobacco brand.
Okay, thank you very much. And dear panelists, can you please fill in the table which I sent you this morning with the startups and the marks? We would be very grateful. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And the next speech is SealDeal. David? Please join us.
Yes. Joining. Hi everyone. So I need to open the document. Okay. Yeah, hi. My name is David and I'm the founder of SealDeal. Sorry. Here. So what's the problem SealDeal is working with? M&A transactions are very complex and involve many risks such as financial, tax, or legal risks, as you as investors may know. These risks can be insured via specialized brokers. The problem with such is that they are very costly and they take a lot of time and put extra pressure on such transactions. So in the sense of this, you should have a minimum transaction value of your deal of about 30 million euros to make the insurance product economically feasible. And resulting from this, as the big chunk of the M&A market is below 30 million euros worth a deal, 70% of the worldwide transactions are not insured or uneconomically insured. The solution towards this is SealDeal, which is a software that helps brokers, investors, and MGAs to automatically analyze the risk and close their M&A acquisitions fast, cheap, and transparent. Meaning we are basically doing the entire human work into a digital workflow, decreasing time and cost with giving clients and potential customers access and transparency of the entire market of insurance product for their transaction. How do we make money? Based on a commission of about 30%. Yeah, it looks kind of small, but when you calculate this up, it gives a really big chunk. So the average commission we are charging is about 1,700 euros. The average commission that is paid by human brokers and MGAs is at least 7,000 euros, usually way much higher in the areas of 15,000 or something. Anyhow, this will give us still a revenue target of about 600,000 euros in 3 years from now. Short overview of our team. So myself, background from investment banking and M&A, where also this idea was created. Nikki, she has 20 years of experience in M&A insurances. Basically, she was building the entire German market for this specialized M&A transaction product. Daniel, our CTO, and we have another one with Thomas. He's our M&A consultant, so he basically is doing the sales towards the private equities. Where are we standing at the moment? Yeah, we had a good market sounding, so we are definitely pre-revenue at a pre-revenue stage. We have already our MVP launched and tested with a couple of clients, like test clients. And we could secure basically 3 great cooperation partners, which is one, Kingwoods Mellison, which is a top-tier international law company, who's providing us with M&A law knowledge and is also testing our services from time to time as soon as we're launching new features. Amaniki is providing us with the M&A insurance knowledge, is a broker basically. And yeah, HD or HDI, which is one of the biggest insurance companies from Germany, has a minority share in Amaniki, so they're working also with us together, giving us the infrastructure, especially in terms of sales and marketing, and also, of course, as you can see now, the credibility, having this logo on our pitch. So financials, what we're looking for, as said, we are pretty early, so we're looking for kind of a small amount of 600,000 to basically be market ready, more or less. The big chunk of this funding, of course, runs into HR topics, especially for development and looking for software engineers. Yes, that was basically everything about SealDeal, really fast and quick. Thank you very much, guys.
Questions? Thank you.
Is this like a, sorry, Omiros, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good.
Sorry, just a very quick question. Is this not like just a product idea for an insurance company? I mean, insurance companies can do this as a product. You know, what distinguishes what you're doing? I know you're launching this as a software as a service platform, and not necessarily as a product. You might have to go into a product line at some point, but why wouldn't insurance companies at some point figure this out by themselves? Or isn't the money there? Isn't the money in the underwriting?
Yeah, it's twofold. On the one hand side, it's basically because this M&A transaction is a really niche product. So the teams coming from the insurance company itself, they are so small actually, and this is why you have the MGA. So basically the workflow is you have the insurance company, then comes the MGA, who has the capabilities to sign the risk, and before the MGA, there's the broker coming. So it's basically kind of it's not something like cyber polices or health insurances, which is like a really fast and easy standardized product. So it's kind of small teams. And as the insurance companies are not working for themselves, so it's always with the brokers and the NGAs, and those teams are very small and not, I mean, sad saying, but it's true, investment banking is really old economy when it comes in terms of how to work with due diligence, how to read contracts, etc. So it's basically, yeah, how to say, I was shocked when I was thinking about this idea a year ago, that there's basically nothing great outside. And basically there was also the feedback that we got from our market sounding in the first instance that it sounds really interesting. Yeah, so it's basically, I would say something around, it's too niche product. And second, the teams are too small that they really can focus on something else than just doing their deals. Because in the end, if you're not working on transactions that are in average like 200, 300, 400 million euros of their transaction value, you don't do the small ones, right? Because you cannot insure them. And as soon as you got the market open there and just going through, because it's basically, especially when it comes to real estate deals, it's really, really standardized, and you can really great, work with automation in that area.
Hi, David.
Hi.
I'm Omiros, based in London from a fund called Brook Street. Before I set it up, a private equity fund, I was an M&A banker for a number of years.
No,
so I kind of understand a little bit about what you're trying to do. I can tell you that perhaps there is value to talk to the big teams like IAG, March, etc. In Zurich. But perhaps gear it towards transactions that have tension. For example, contingent value rights. There's something in our industry called contingent consideration structures, and I'm trying to be very brief because otherwise it will get too technical.
Yeah.
So if you're going to CVRs, put call options, and bridging mechanisms, valuation bridging mechanisms, that is where you have the largest need for M&A insurance, and in fact, the largest need to trying to hedge some of the risk that you're taking. I don't think you have a lot to offer to the mid-market, and sizes that you said before, the 200-300 million deals are mid-market deals. I mean, investment bank would consider 100 million to a billion to be mid-market, even lower mid-market these days. But I think in the large deals, particularly the deals that go into very big complexities with CCS, contingent consideration structures, there may be something there. The question is that you're discussing to KWM, and I wonder, KWM in London was the former team of S.J. Berwin, okay? S.J. Berwin used to do 3,500 deals just for funds in M&A. The question is why they haven't developed something like that, how they outsource it. If it's actually has to be part of an internal team that will do it, or it's a product. I think I have to agree with Nuno that I understand where you're going, but I can see you very much absorbed as part of the vertical team versus an independent solution. I think that's the risk going there. What is your feedback from the market so far?
Actually, we had really to deal with that problem in the first instance, because especially when you try talking to HIG or so, they don't even answer your emails, of course, because they know, okay, if you work on transaction that are like this had 300-400 million euros worth, you don't need automation somehow, because you have the teams and you have the money in the back. But as we are working with Amaniki together, and she's just, or this company is mainly focusing on small, maybe mid-sized transaction, and she has 20 years of experience, and she's saying, yes, it makes totally sense for us, especially, I mean, if you have the big transactions, you're doing it with handwork, but everything beside, which becomes somehow like CDE mandates, but you somehow should do it in the end or not. It's a try. I mean, it's somehow the feedback that you were describing, like for the big ones, it's way too early, but for a standardized small transaction, especially as said in real estate market, we are pretty, how to say, we have the inflow of insurance requests that verifies that we are now working on this idea. Let's keep it this way. So we have been.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, we don't have more time for this discussion, but I can introduce you later, so then you can discuss it if you want.
Please.
We have the next project, which is Imoku. Yana, please join us. Okay, now we can.
Does it work?
Yes, it's good.
Fantastic. Sorry for the. Hi, hello everybody. Hi. Sorry for the thing. So we are Imoku. We're still in the seed stage. Imoku is a tailored workplace platform that drives mental and social well-being through organization-wide coaching. Founded about 6 years ago with an initial aim to increase emotional intelligence among workforce. And we have developed a range of products, including a SaaS coaching bot in form of a cloud-based web app to replicate any conversation digitally and give access to coaching at scale for employees, for line manager and below. Currently, we have over 1,000 pieces of micro content, video, audio, written content, covering everyday workplace challenges from dealing with underperformance, managing conflict, difficult conversations around bereavement. We have a data dashboard for management, measuring emotional resilience of employees, and we have semi-bespoke and white label solutions around culture change, around organizational values or negotiations. And here we see at the moment the biggest traction. So from the market, we know that productivity loss through mental health is just as significant as through physical health issues. And you have probably already heard some of the Gallup disengagement statistics. We are tackling these issues with preventative measures delivered in micro content developed by professional clinicians, coaches, and therapists. The total, oops, sorry, I'm having trouble clicking here. Oops, sec. The total investment up to date is 2.26 million with a mix of angels and institutional investors. Most prominent ones are from UK, Rupert Hambro and NCL Technology Ventures. We have some, oh, I'm sorry for the slides. I don't know what happened here. That wasn't like this when I uploaded them. We have some traction so far. This year, we're looking at revenue around 225K in pounds. We have some customers who renewed for the past 3-4 years, ranging from engineering companies to medical, from defense to charity. And right now we're looking to bridge COVID-19 affected delays with a small raise of 175K, aiming at a bigger A round next year, early next year. This is also the time when we are planning to go B2C. The team is highly experienced and have built and sold businesses before. And in 2018, we also won the AXA Health Tech and U Award, and as well the Gold Award from Learning Technologies. That's it from me. I'm just gonna click through. I don't know what happened to the PowerPoint here. I'm very sorry about it. So that's the team. That's it. Questions, please.
This is a complex space for a variety of reasons. It's a little bit of Pandora's box inside the companies, because once you start talking about mental health and issues, you know, maybe something good comes out of it, but normally it just amps up all the tension that already exists in the culture of the company. So how do you do the sales? Do you have any metrics that show that actually it is not, that it does improve? What do you do? And so 2 questions. Do you have any metrics that show that basically the impact of your product is actually positive or net positive in companies? And the second question is more around, from a product standpoint, how do you make it work so that people are engaged? These types of products normally have very big issues in terms of engagement by employees. So even if I offer it to employees, people don't use it because they're afraid about their data, they're afraid about communicating. So could you tell us a little bit about those 2 things?
Yeah, so right now with the current product, with the chatbot, we see about 25% usage. For a non-mandated app, it's relatively high. However, so I recently joined the company just 2 months ago as a CEO. And from the product portfolio, exactly what you just said, it's very difficult to engage the user. So what we do is we have a personality type assessment. It's gamification. So depending on the assessment they do, the users do before they get on the app, we know what type of personality they are, so they can get challenges. They get people like them. They're like small animals. So there's we're sending notifications. We're also working with HR or learning and development people to really assess on what type of content the people need that is specific to their daily work, and therefore it is engaging for them because they get answers that are tailored to their actual work environment. That's one thing. On the measuring part, we have some measures. So we do see data. We can see how the emotional resilience is changing by using it. However, there's still some work to do, and we are currently in this process where we do, at the moment, new user research and new data kind of strategy about this. So very fair point, and there's still some work to do.
Hi, Jana. This is Omiros from London. A couple of questions. I looked into this space before, and there are two major issues. One is, what is your right to play? I'm looking at the founders. I believe none of them has had the path, for example, of Tony Robbins. I'm looking at the Tim and Jim who have founded the company, right? So one is, what is your right to play? What is unique about this? And you're getting aggregated, effectively input from 25 behavioral consultants, right? How do you differentiate from anybody else who can set up a group of 25 people and provide static advice? And the second is, how do you consider what is the outcome of that product? How do you make sure that you have customer satisfaction? And on top of that, how do you automate the process to reach an AI solution? Because the interesting part will be that as you interact with the software, it is able to understand your state of mind and guide you through the pathway of social interaction rather than a series of questions where you have static outputs, which effectively are if then else statements, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Omer. So start from your last question. There, up until now, it was not necessary to do to put AI in it, but it's in the plan from the beginning. So right now we're talking to universities, specifically to the University of Kent in the UK, because they're strong in AI, and to do a partnership there. We have been in conversation with them already for a while and pretty much finishing that. So this will definitely become an AI product, especially if we consider to go B2C, it has to be. And this is also how the customer satisfaction will be achieved. The product, the coaching bot will learn about my personality, about what type of information I need at what time, and will provide this one to me. At the moment, we are about at the stage 2 of 10 steps of where we have to be in product development. And there is probably a possibility to pivot that. We're considering that as well. In terms of what is the right to be, is we specifically didn't pick any particular psychological or coaching route. So we say whatever that is, be it NLP, be it positive psychology, be it executive coaching type of conversation, anything of that has its validity. Everything happens in conversation. So depending on who you are and where you stand, and we are aiming at the, let's say, low-level employees who never get access to coaching, to one-on-one coaching. They get that replicated through a coaching bot solution, and they basically go through the average time. Sorry, did someone just say something? Okay, so yeah, that's. Did I answer?
Okay. Thank you very much. I need to play red call.
Thanks.
So that everyone has time.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So next project is GT Digital. Gary, we're waiting for you.
Hi, my name is Gary Olson, and I am the CEO, founder, and technical designer behind Media Maestro and of GT Digital. And I'm not sure how we're changing slides. Yep, there we go. So the world has become a very dangerous place, and this is a global problem where we're all suffering from different kinds of attacks, and these are all happening in too many ways, too many places, where the people doing it are spending a lot of time telling people that they plan on doing these things. It's time we listen. Right now, the current challenge is that the vast amount of digital information that's available and accessible by just about anybody is overwhelming any human analyst professional to look ahead and to be able to determine that something is happening by intent, being plotted before it happens. Too often we're seeing it happen and then discovering that it was being announced and we had too much information and couldn't figure it out. Our product, Media Maestro, is built on a platform that was originally developed in cognitive computing by DARPA, for DARPA, and we curate, integrate, orchestrate, and correlate video, data, and media from any source that's open, accessible, and available, which is subscription, which is just a fee, and we don't collect it. We identify it, and then if it matches our criteria, then we bring it in, and we correlate it to all the other different pieces of information that identify that there's a problem. If there are 10 different statements all saying the same thing, is it 10 different problems or is it one problem? We connect the dots between any and all information. We don't care where it comes from. We don't care what it is. We do the transcode. We do the normalization. We bring it in and we visualize it in a single pane of glass. Plot prevention is taking a look at everything and determining that there's going to be a problem, not that there was a problem. As I mentioned, our cognitive engines have been used by the US government and now available to us through our partners. We own it. It is our partners' technology. Our video technology comes from Emmy Award-winning, again, these are my partners. And my personal background is in broadcast technology. The reason you can all watch video is partially my fault. Cognitive intelligence is taking a number of technologies, pulling it all together to connect the dots. Recognition is a very mature market that is immature in its ability to be accurate. Searching and data mining in individual silos of data does not solve a problem. It only finds and isolates more siloed information. Correlating data is how it all works. Keeping the human in the loop is the most important thing, because the first question on everybody's mind is, how do you deal with false positives? And the answer is humans. Artificial intelligence is not at a place where it can make a decision. Artificial intelligence is at a place where it can find enough information for a human to make a decision. Keeping the human in the loop means that the human understands what the problem is. The human has the cognitive understanding and deductive reasoning to trigger an action. We have a proof of concept. We're a cloud-based service or an on-premise service. We're currently pre-MVP. We're raising $750,000 to bring it from proof of concept into pilot. We're looking for an additional 1.2 million that will take us to full launch. This is an untapped $50 billion market. The market opportunity is in the commercial space. Stores, retailers, shipping and logistics, public venues are tired of being on the news, are tired of finding out why somebody is attacking them. They can get ahead of it. If there's a vehicle parked outside of a retail operation in the middle of the night, 5 nights in a row, either it's teenagers or it's a problem. We need to get ahead of it. Benefit for our client is saving lives, saving property, saving businesses, protecting a business's reputation, preventing the churn of employees and customers. Our executive team has built businesses for many people across many decades. We have an experienced team that has run successful businesses, and our design architects have built technologies that are being used right now in law enforcement. My name is Gary Olson. I thank you for your time and any questions.
Hi, Gary. Tom here. Thanks a lot. Interesting stuff. It looked like it might be a knowledge graph based solution, but even if it is, it requires training. So how quickly does the system learn, and have you been training it on specific use cases? And in those, how good has it gotten so far?
So the first answer is it is not knowledge graph. It's actual visualizing what you see. So instead of charts and graphs and burning eyeballs, you see the video, you see the data, you see the map, you see all the information in a single pane of glass, and then that helps determine what the problem is. It creates a timeline. You can sync multiple videos. So it's not really a knowledge graph. It's actually visualizing all the information in a way that is easily identified for a human to understand. In terms of training data, depending upon who our customer is, the question is it based upon certain criteria that's programmed when the system is implemented with thresholds that determine what the data sets are and what the customer wants the data set to be.
So the system vision is, I think, relatively clear. The product piece, I'm not sure. So what is the product exactly, and how does it get deployed?
So it is a software product, and it follows a classic software model. So basically, it's installed on a customer's premise if they have a technology department, and then it's connected to open sources, and if they have private sources, it's connected.
It taps to their own cameras, to their own infrastructure. Is that it?
If they have that, yes. And if not, there's an extraordinary amount of information and cameras available in the open world. And then it's also a cloud product for those that don't have the technical depth that want to have an on-premise solution.
Can I still ask? I asked about the performance. You know, how good it is in certain use cases, and even if it's not fully automatic, then the question is, how much does it improve the working lives of the people using it?
It improves the working lives of the people using it because right now they're all gathering data and then forensically looking to see what story the data is telling them, not preventing a problem, but identifying why it happened. More reactive than predictive. And predictive is a dangerous word, but we are more on the anticipation that there's going to be a problem as opposed to the reaction of how did that really happen. As far as training data goes, we are collecting some amount of training information, but more of it is text-based metadata. And by polling things and not collecting, it's not a question of collecting every piece of information that's available in the marketplace. It's basically taking a look at what's there and only capturing the information that matches the criteria. Thomas?
Anna, Elena, do we have time for a couple of questions?
Yes, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, I'll be very fast. You'll see me typing while you're talking, and the reason is I was making some notes. Okay, 3 things. Team technology track. Let me start with the team. I was a bit confused because initially you said that you actually have partners that have developed this and you license it. That's how I understood it. Then you came up with an MVP. So first question is, have you developed the technology? And second is, if you haven't, who has done it? Second question, team. What is the team? I've saw the 4 people that you mentioned. I'm on your website and I'm going into Crunchbase. I see that you started it back in 2016. Who is developing this? Because I see a team of 4 and I will imagine you need a lot more people to develop the software. Third, track. You started 2016 December. You have had a seed round a couple of times. What has changed over the last 3 years? Why have you not given track? And just to let you know, if that is something relevant, I actually have an investment in this area of cybersecurity. And one of our companies, Terracom, has the largest airport in the world as a client. So we very much are aware of this space. And I would like more to understand what you have done it. It's very different. We're into guard patrol management, but there could be quite a lot of synergies there. So very keen to understand more.
Okay, well, this may be out of order. So my partners are 2 technology companies. What you saw is the management team. And my partners are One company has, as I said, they're a custom software company that has developed cognitive engines that is currently used by a lot of US government agencies. My other technology partner, and these are stakeholders, has developed curation technology in the video space. And I am the architect and designer behind the product that is using some of those technologies foundationally. And we've developed the proof of concept on top of this. We have no seed funding. We are self-funded right now. We are bootstrapped. Everything that we've done so far has come out of our own pockets. And from idea to proof of concept took some time, and proof of concept and looking for the additional funding we need to bring it to an MVP so that we can bring it. We have letters of interest from hotel operators. We've shown it to shipping and logistics. We've shown it to global organizations. There is no product in the marketplace doing this right now. It's an untapped market. We are not a cyber solution. This touches the physical space. Did I get all your questions?
I think, yeah, partly. There's a lot more to understand about what actually you're doing with the tech and the team, but I think for Elena's discretion, we'll take this offline. But thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I will be happy to introduce you and so that you can talk. We're waiting for you.
Hello. Who's bringing up? Are you bringing up my presentation for me?
You need to download it from documents, Lani. This the way we tried it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Landry Rutkin. I'm the founder, CEO, and chairman of Click Deal Buy. It's a California corporation, Chapter C corporation. Actually, we're out of Nevada. Let me tell you, I apologize. I forgot to put my name, my email on here. So it's my first name, Lanny@clickdealbuy.com. And let's go right through this real quickly. We start my timer. Okay, moving these slides. Here we go. All right, Click Deal Buy. We're looking for a seed round right now, up to 5 million. So you know, all right. We have shares of common stock. We can get into that later. Let's talk about who we are. We have a great management team, including somebody who's way up at the top at Walmart. Okay. Somebody just blocked my presentation. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can somebody move that out of the way? Thank you. Okay. So we have a good team. There's no doubt about it. We have retail experts on our team. We know what we're doing. So let me tell you about who we are. Let's get to the meat of this. So we're solving one of the biggest problems out there in retail. That's the conversion rates on an international basis. Conversion rates, I'm sorry, these things keep popping up on my screen, sorry. If you don't know that the conversion rates can be very, very low across the globe when it comes to retail. Abandonment rates are very, very high. Imagine last year over roughly $900 billion left on the table because people don't complete the sales. So we have a whole new way for retailers to get the products out to their customers and complete the sales. So it's like the name says, there's 3 simple ways to do this. You click on a product or products. Just click on one or more products. You're going to get the best deal from that particular vendor you're at, and you can buy it. So it's 3 steps. Click, deal, buy. One or more products. To support that, we have projections, okay, we can talk about this later, but we can do hundreds of millions of dollars a year. We have all this documentation to back us up. This is no small endeavor. So really what we're talking about here, and I want to go ahead and move a screen above me here so I can read some stuff. So we have a way to create unlimited deals for people to buy products. We have a way to increase, of course, conversion rates. We are talking about hyper-personalized interaction. We're talking about AI-driven retail. We have a patent that got published. If you click on an item on somebody's screen, right? If you click on anything, if it triggers a deal, that's our patent. If I scan something in a store and I click on it and it triggers a deal, that's our patent. If I scan a QR code, and it triggers a deal, that's our patent. It's very powerful. It's good for any business, any product, any service. Now, I have a video here. I'm going to skip by that. We can put a deal button, a trigger button, anywhere on a screen. You know, this is, we have a software platform that will fit into anybody's platform. Shopify, you know, BigCommerce, Oracle, you name it. All the major players is what we're going to put in there. So stores, that was a quick 3 minutes, sorry. So stores can place a trigger button anywhere they want on their screen. We have over 60 features on our software we're planning for. We've designed our software, right? You can't see it here, but we've designed it. We're ready to go. We compete with that e-coupon world, which is billions of dollars. How do we compete with the e-coupon world? We eliminate the need for coupons and codes. You don't need it. Just click on a product. It's all done on the back end. It's a global solution. We like to say that we have the 3 R's. We give the customer the right price at the right time with the right deal. And of course, I can't explain everything right now because I don't have much time. So for an investor standpoint, SaaS, AI, retail, e-commerce, that's a winner. A lot of companies never even knew how they're going to monetize when they first started. We know how we're going to monetize. We know the market. You know, the market is, of course, trillions of dollars globally. We know who the players are we want to go after in the United States. Of course, again, we work with all the favorite platforms out there. We will in the future. Again, we know the market. We've identified the low-hanging fruit, how to get to them up to the enterprise level of accounts. There's many other additional streams of software that are part of our vision that of course, I can explain to you in another way, in a presentation. We have all this down. We've been working on this for a couple of years. We have many, many, many marketing ideas. We have room in our, see, you know, because I didn't show the video because it takes time. When you click on something, a deal pops up on your screen, okay? It's an interactive deal with timers, bells and whistles to get the people's attention. I could say, I want another deal. It may not be as good as the first deal. This has never been done before. We don't care what other people looked at or other people like Amazon, right? We don't care about that. It's what the customer wants. So we don't care if you looked at something. We don't care about that. It's what you want. And we know what you've been looking at. Let me give you an example. If you're buying toys, you might as well buy the batteries as a combination, right? We'll give it to you. If you're buying paint, here's brushes. You might say, I need 7 things to create, I want to paint with. Give me a deal on those 7 items. Some of the items you're looking for may be discontinued or end of life or overstock. The system says if there's too much inventory at a certain time, lower it accordingly to what the store allows and get rid of the inventory. So we can move inventory. We can do natural bundles.
Lanny, Tom here. I hate to barge in, but I actually think you spent much more than your allocated time. And since I have to go in 2-3 minutes, I still want to ask one question from you.
Please.
All right. So it does sound pretty exciting and not really knowing how it works. But if you're a let's say medium-sized merchant, online merchant, and you want to use this, what does it take in practice, technology-wise, time-wise, resource and skill-wise, to get this, going onto that merchant?
It's very simple. It's API-based, right? So what we're doing is we're tapping into the existing customers' database and allowing them to put buttons to create a deal. It's very, very simple to create a deal. I can create a deal for a product or hundreds of thousands of products literally in minutes. I can take a product by a SKU, by a category, an item code, and say I want these products associated with the deal. Let me give you a quick example.
But so there is an integration which hopefully is low frills and clear,
yes. And
then there is a self-serve for defining what kinds of deals you want, where and when. Is that how it goes?
Very much so. Right. It's unlimited incentives. It can involve one or more stores at the same time as well. Get this from one store, this from another. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We have a whole new way to push traffic to stores, to restaurants. You know, it's a very big vision we've worked on for years. So it's hard to describe in a few minutes. Very exciting.
Any more questions?
If nobody else asks, I'll ask a follow-on question, which is when it comes to integration and platforms, are there any specific limitations where it may not run, or is it just wherever there's an online something?
Well, we haven't tried it with some closed platforms like Oracle as an example, but we don't think there's going to be a problem. We don't know yet. We don't think so. Other platforms, Shopify, Magento, we haven't had any problems at all. We have proof of concepts. We haven't had any problems.
Right.
Nobody's ever thought of this in the past. It's just brand new. Click on something, get a deal, and buy it. We have a way to beat Amazon. It goes on and on and on and on and on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions? No? Thank you very much for our dear investors. Thank you for your questions. I would be very grateful if you can please fill in the questionnaire which I sent to you, and I will send you all pitch decks of companies that showed up and companies that couldn't join as well. So thank you very much everyone for your attendance, and we are waiting for you at our next event. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Bye. Bye.